Hello and welcome to Prime Time Football, Sunday Night Football edition, today between San Francisco 49ers and Atlanta Falcons. My storyline for this game is grind it out. I mean, the amount of injuries of key players for San Francisco 49ers is just ridiculous. I mean, Fred Warner, the best linebacker in the league, out for the season, and just top of the mountain. I hate it, and I'm a Seahawks fan, man. I hate it. But I do believe San Francisco 49ers do have white men at the helm in Kyle Shanahan and Robert Saleh for this team to still be freaking competitive and a tough out for every freaking one. And they will grind it out to the end of the season for better or worse. Will it be enough for the Falcons? Let's find out when we take a look at key matchups. And we start with the dude that is kind of the most of the San Francisco 49ers offense. And yes, CMC in terms of yards per carry is not necessarily lighting league up. Neither he is best running back in the game. I think that's Bijan on the other side of the ball game. But he is still damn good. And given the low amount of really run blocking win rate for this offensive line and the fact that they just are struggling for weapons, for healthy quarterbacks, he is doing his best. And if it wasn't for him and his ability to absolutely grind it out, get as many carries and touches as is almost humanly possible, 49ers would not be where they are right now with 4-2 record still in the ball game. Now, who is going to stop him from the Falcons? I have my eyesight on Divine Diablo. I was not a huge fan of this signing. It felt kind of mid, but so far this dude has lighted up for the Falcons defense. And he's been a complex linebacker. He doesn't have weaknesses in terms of not that he doesn't show it, at least this year so far. And with him, change of scenery, first proper contract, can we see some sort of Zach Bone-ish year for him? I definitely cannot rule it out. I think the signs are there for him to be really successful. So prepare, because CMC is going to meet this dude as a running back, as a slot wide receiver, both assignments that he lines up for. And Divine, this is a game that he can definitely put himself on the map. Now, for the next matchup, I want to talk about the interior offensive line of the 49ers and defensive line for the Falcons. And to me, if you ask me about this matchup starting the season, I would be like, okay, Dominic Puni is going to dominate David Onyemata. Now, I am not so sure, because Dominic Puni's second year is leaving a lot to be desired. I don't know why is it. Is it necessarily the amount of injuries around him? Is it a sophomore slump? Is it like short amount of games, like small sample size? But so far he's just looking like a guy. Last year he was really looking like a potential, dare I say, top 10, top 5 guard in the league. This year, not so far. And David Onyemata, despite his age, definitely shows us that he can still play. And he is having a really good season and being a great mentor for the young offensive line that's assembling around him. And yes, is not necessarily great so far, but is far from a problem that for several years, Falcons defensive line was kind of a laughingstock because they just could not generate pressure. And I think they have a potential to be okay in that. I don't think, especially this year, they are going to be anything special, but with the leadership of guys like David, they could develop into something that with Raheem Morris overseeing could be actually strength, which would be, wow, breath of fresh air for the Falcons and their fans, because they have been looking for defensive line to step up for years, pretty much since prime Grady Jarrett. Now, for the last matchup, I'm going to talk about guys that you might not know too much about. Michael Williams, first round pick, probably had some of your attention. So far this year, it's not fair, but he needs to step up. When he was brought here by the draft, it was clear. Like, his job is not to be dominating. His job is to be great run stopper and be number 2, number 3 guy from the edge with Bryce Huff, with Nick Bosa, and just develop behind these guys. But with Nick Bosa out and Bryce Huff being sort of one-dimensional, he's a great pass rusher, not a great run defender, they need Mikael Williams to play, like, I'm not going to say like Jared Verse did last year, because I don't think Mikael is as good as Jared was, and that's unreasonable standards. So it's not fair, but they need him to be much, much better than he's been so far, and I struggle whether I do necessarily trust that it's in him. I think he has potential, but can he materialize it this year when they need it and as one of the prime guys? I don't know, man. On the other side, Ryan Neutzel, the center that kind of got his time last year when Drew Norman was injured, and this offseason, Falcons were like, okay, Drew, thank you for having you here. You were a really good center for us, but we want to save some money, and we believe we have a guy ready to take your step and not lose too much in terms of quality. And Ryan Neutzel has done just so. Like, he's been playing his ass off. I think his contract is up after the season, and he's definitely earning himself a new one that should be in the realm of like 6 to 10 millions a year for a guy that most of you out there probably never heard of prior to the season if you are not following Falcons, or you are not a crazy guy that's deep into backups in the league. And quite frankly, they do not miss Drew Dalman. So smart move by the Falcons, really know what in their back pocket, and great job, Ryan Neutzel. I wish you nothing but the best. But when you see prior to the season, neither of these guys were necessarily like huge in terms of how I rank them. Ryan Neutzel able to step up, Mikael Williams not so much. And at the end of the day, who do I favor in this matchup? Tough one, because we don't know who is going to suit up for the 49ers. As of right now, when I'm recording this, there is a lot of question marks, so that's going to have a huge impact. But at the end of the day, I think this is a type of a game that on one side I think should suit Falcons better, because they should be like better when games are low scoring. They can lean into their run game. Not necessarily the other team has like an explosive offense. They should be able to not necessarily dominate, but definitely outplay the defensive line of the 49ers and hold possession for many more minutes. But at the same time, I still am not sure that I trust Raheem Morris versus Kyle Shanahan at the end of the game. So tough one to pick. I'm probably going to choose Falcons, but it should be really good Sunday Night Football and another game for the Falcons to show up on a big stage and show us that, Michael Penix's 8th pick overall last year was not as crazy as we thought. So enjoy and see you with the next one. Bye bye.